do not understand how the trick works, you will not be able to break free of it. That is why people relapse. That is why people will go a long period of time, feel like they're out the woods, and then they end up right back at square one, sometimes binging harder than they were before they had their most recent stint of abstinence. And so the only way you can break free of an addiction is to do it without using willpower. You must understand how it works. Once you understand how it works, you will no longer desire to do the thing. All right, so boom. All right, so you do the behavior, right? Let's say you drink alcohol. I'm gonna use drink alcohol in this situation. Boom, it causes withdrawal. You drink again. You get relief, which you perceive as pleasure. This then compels you to do the behavior again. On top of the fact that in between doing the behavior again and you getting that initial relief, you also now strengthen the withdrawals. This is essentially how all addictions work. You do the behavior, you experience withdrawal. You do the behavior again to appease the withdrawal, you get relief. You feel the relief as pleasure, you perceive the relief as pleasure, and so you believe that the behavior is something enjoyable to do, on top of the fact that you get withdrawals again. Because that is how all addictive behaviors work. That's how all addictive substances work. They addict you by creating withdrawals, which you then relieve by doing the behavior, consuming the substance, and then perceiving that as pleasure. All right, something else you need to understand. This is a huge misconception that a lot of people have. Addiction or addictive does not equal feel good. This is something that people believe you get addicted, right? Some people believe that they get addicted to sugar because it tastes good. This is false. That is not why you get addicted to sugar. You get addicted to sugar because sugar is an addictive substance. So is alcohol. So is watching pornography. So is your binge eating. These are addictive behaviors and addictive substances. There are just certain things that are addictive. When it comes to substances, there are chemical aspects of it that just make it addictive, but it's not because it feels good. All of what you believe as feeling good comes from the relief of withdrawal. That's the only feel good that you get. But the actual behavior itself, the actual substance you're consuming, does not make you feel good. Let's take alcohol, for instance. The chemical alcohol is a poison. I don't mean it's something that is bad for you. I mean, it's literally poisonous to the human body. The very first time you drink alcohol, most people have a very bad reaction to it. It tastes bad. and it doesn't make that, and they feel bad. Most people report feeling sick if they drink enough because they're trying to get drunk. Why are they kind of trying to get drunk? Is because society has brainwashed you into thinking getting drunk makes you feel good. And so a lot of people, when they drink for the first time, will drink until they do get drunk, but they feel sick. I remember the first time I got drunk, I said I would never drink again. But here's the thing with drinking. The very first time you drink, you usually do it in a social environment, like a party, right? Everyone's having fun. There are other people who have experienced drinking, and they tell you how much fun they get from drinking, how pleasurable it is to them. And so you believe, oh, okay, maybe it didn't work out for me this time, but next time. On top of that, you now have, let's say this is happening in a college setting. So you're going to have withdrawals for a few days. So let's say you got drunk on Friday. You say, I'm never drinking again. But Saturday morning, you get your hangover and you sober up a little bit. And then now it's Saturday night and you say, oh, let me try again. And you drink it and hold on, wait a second. You drink it and now you feel good. You feel a little good. You're like, oh, wait a second. Here it is. Now it's kicking in. Now I'm feeling it. Now I get it. People will tell you it's not the first cigarette. It's not the first cigarette that hooks you. It's not the first drink that hooks you. It's not the first any of these that hook you. It's the second. It's the third. Because with each subsequent introduction of this substance, you get more, you build your tolerance, and so your withdrawals become stronger and stronger. Your cravings become stronger and stronger over time, which means the relief you get from each subsequent drink or cigarette or, jerk off session becomes more and more of a relief. And Cordell, are you still here?
Yes.
Do you have any, because I'm flying through this unprepared. So are there any questions about anything I've said so far? Because if you have any questions, then it's possible that there are questions that the chat has as well.
Not right now, but if I do, I'll ask you why you keep going.
Okay, so are you following along so far how this works?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So all right. All of the negative feelings that you have that compel you to do your addictive behavior are caused by the addictive behavior. So for instance, maybe you like to eat. Boredom, it is just another manifestation of a withdrawal. You call it boredom because you don't want to call yourself an addict. You call it sadness. You're hungry. These are all forms of a withdrawal. And so you eat to appease the withdrawal, but then in eating this sugary food, it creates stronger cravings, stronger withdrawals. That's why you become, the cravings get stronger and stronger. On top of that, all addictive behaviors reduce your quality of life. Every single one of them. Not a one. Caffeine, alcohol, porn, your smartphone. And it really shouldn't call it your smartphone. It should be content consumption or binge content consumption. right? Binge eating, processed sugar. All of these reduce your quality of life. How do we know? Because the more you do them, the more your quality of life goes down. How can something that is hurting you, destroying you, making you feel ill simultaneously be good for you or causing pleasure? That's a contradiction. Also, again, to back up my point that addiction is not a result of feeling good. There are plenty of things that make you feel good that you're not addicted to. For instance, working out, drinking water when you're thirsty. Now, some people like to say that they're addicted to working out. You're not addicted to working out. First of all, you don't have to. Working out, all good things regulate themselves. You don't find yourself sore, in pain, like, oh, I can't move. I hit chest so hard yesterday, my chest is in pain. And then you go into the gym and try to hit chest as hard as you can again. That is what addictive behavior looks like. Addictive behavior looks like you jerk off, you feel guilty, shame, you feel weak because you probably told yourself you want to stop. You feel dirty, maybe like a loser. You feel all of these feelings, yet you do it again. Why? Because you're addicted. You don't do that with working out. You have no problem taking a break when you need one. You choose to work out. You have no problem cutting off water once you finish drinking, however much you needed to quench your thirst.
Question.
Go ahead.
Are you addicted to the action, or are you addicted to the results of the action?
You are addicted. So like in regards to alcohol, you're addicted to alcohol. Alcohol is an addictive substance. And so as an addictive substance, it addicts you. What does it mean to addict you? It means to make you want more. While it makes you want more, but consuming it makes you want even more. You see, so like here's the difference. Water. You get thirsty. You drink. You're not thirsty anymore. Sugar. You crave. You eat a cookie. Now you want another cookie. And another cookie. Until you finish the whole bag. There is no deficiency. You don't have a sugar deficiency. It's not like, oh, once I get enough sugar, I'll stop wanting it. The way how processed sugar works is it makes you want it more and more and more and more and more until you're so full or you're broke or you can't eat no more. And so you go to bed or you do something else. But as enough time passes, then you want it again. You want it more and more. But psychological addictions work in the exact same way. So what is it that you get addicted to when it comes to pornography? I believe the consensus is dopamine. Now, dopamine is not a bad thing. It's not like how alcohol is addictive and it's a toxin. Dopamine is a hormone that your body naturally produces. It's necessary. If you remove the parts of your brain that produce dopamine, they've done that in rats. They just allow themselves to starve to death. They have zero motivation. Dopamine is the go get it drug, the seek it out. And it's really a it's not it's not even a hormone. It's a neurochemical, right? Serotonin is a satiety neurochemical. So dopamine, so here's how it works, right? You eat or you watch porn. On the screen is a pretty lady who is not wearing any clothes. Your brain, this is your brain, you looking with your eyes, perceives this as a potential mate that is consenting to sex. The drive of all humans and all living things is to reproduce. And so you are compelled to mate with this consenting naked woman who is your brain perceives as a woman that wants to reproduce with you. And so your brain dumps dopamine. And it compels you to jerk off. But you know when dopamine is highest? Here's the climax. Dopamine is highest right before the climax. Because remember, it's the go get it drug. Serotonin is the I got it drug. Now, here's why pornography is so damaging, right? Because the same thing happens when you have sex. This is where porn is so damaging. It's because when it comes to pornography, you're able to you go from woman number 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, all in the space of 30 minutes. Each time you're being exposed to these shocks of dopamine. In real life, you're probably in bed with your girl, right? You're in bed with your girl. And so it's just the one girl. It's just the one experience. It's operating under normal conditions under which your body is designed to operate with. Furthermore, there are other aspects that come with physiological sex that you don't get with pornography, such as, the physical interaction and the bonding that happens. And so as a result, you get what? Serotonin. Remember what serotonin is? It's the I got it drug. It's the I got it, I'm good. You don't get that with porn. And so what porn is doing is it amps you up, but you never really get that satisfaction, that payoff. And so you become addicted to dopamine. You become addicted because dopamine it compels you, right? It compels you to go and carry out an action. And so you become addicted to dopamine. You've now turned dopamine into an addictive substance in your brain because it's operating at unnaturally high levels that you're inducing by exposing yourself to unrealistic amounts of naked women in a sexual setting. This doesn't happen in real life. And then you never get the serotonin payoff that comes with a real connection. Now, all of this is me trying my best to explain the neurological components. If you want to really understand how porn affects the brain, there are plenty of videos that are out there by neuro scientists that will explain it in detail. The only thing you need to understand is that in the situation of porn, dopamine is what you're addicted to. You are a dopamine addict. And you're using porn as your means of delivery. And when you boil down all the other addictions, it really does all come back to dopamine as well. With alcohol, for instance, you're feeling it's dopamine that compels you to get relief from the withdrawal. So if you want to understand how porn affects the brain in a more detailed fashion, because the more you understand your addiction, the easier it is to break from the illusion as well. It's worth a look. But all you need to know is that when it comes to porn, you're addicted. And remember how addictions work. It has tricked you into perceiving relief as pleasure. And the relief was necessary because of the cravings. So let me try and break it down real simple for you in terms of porn, right? You are at school one day and one of your friends tells you about Pornhub. Let me make this real for you.